Hello everyone, Railgan here again with a CVP replay today. This game is pure pain. Like, Zerg versus Protoss at the moment is so painful to play. Once again, leathering under my account, channeling the power of anime, going for a 13-12 opener against my opponent who goes for a gate first into Nexus. Gate core Nexus, gate assimilator core Nexus, doesn't really matter. This is a speedling expansion build. So I built 14 drones total, then 6 links, mine 100 gas, keep the drones in gas a little bit longer until the probe is gone away. Show him that I'm mining a little bit more gas to maybe trick him. The moment the probe finally is away, gone completely, try to chase it down, put down the expansion, build nothing but drones at home and head across the map. There's nothing 6lings are going to be able to do anyways. I at least got the probe kill. The advantage that this build has is that I have a very fast link speed, so I can keep him in check and I can threaten him with potential all-in attacks. Stuff like that. He sends his adept across the map. A very risky move right here. I'm going for a very fast third base. Oh! The adept shades into my main base and I actually lose a drone. Painful. Well, it happens. I made a couple too many links, I think perhaps. I'm now down 9 drones. Got 3 hatcheries on the way and I'm just spamming the drone button. He also has 2 adepts and he's now building shield batteries to stay safe, going for the Stargate. So you guys can already tell what kind of game this is going to go into. Yes, my opponent is going to build some of them Void Rays like every other Protoss on the ladder as well. Also going for 4 adepts right now, but he actually starts with an oracle in this game. Daring move, dare I say. Also taking an expansion right here. I of course scout that immediately, see that he has a lot of adepts, which scares me a little bit. Throwing down spore crawlers in my bases the moment I saw the the oracle as well. Hunting down the oracle, Oracle runs away. As always, there's a replay linked in the description below if you guys want to have a look at the replay. So you can download it. All the replays of every game of Starcraft 2 that I play is uploaded to SC2 replay stats. So you can go and have a look at them if you please. If you want to. I don't know, English is not my my mother tongue. So not a natural speaker, but I try. And we have the 4th robo follow-up into a robotic space. So this guy is also gonna go and open up the Disruptor or Colossus route. On my side of the map, I'm just droning up. I'm getting a Spire. So I'm gonna go and try to get out some Mutalisks against him because I noticed that he's going for Oracles. And I also saw that he stopped Stargate production. My links get a lucky scout here once again. I see the lack of Stargate production, which I think opens him up to a potential Mutalisk attack. So I'm making a couple roaches and links right now. Links don't cost gas, as we all know. And because of that, I'm able to save more gas for my Mutalisks. I scout as he is taking a 4th base. Here a couple of sentries, so I know where his gas is going into those sentries that he will use, that he will try to use force fields to keep me in check. Bounce around a little bit, see that he's warping in Zealots, so I know charge slots are what's next on the menu as he's about to start charge. I didn't know if he already has charge, I ran away a little bit too quickly to discover that. Going for the macro hatchery at home, droning up this base, 73 drones right now. Mutalisk head into the main base, trying to do as much damage as I can here. 13 workers killed, 15, 17, 18, 21 workers go down right there. My Protoss opponent is now down to 50 workers, but my Mutalisks are also not really going to do too much besides force out a couple of Phoenix, but I'm not gonna go mass Mutalisk against him. He already has sentries, he has Archons, so my Mutalisks are probably not going to be too effective, just trying to get a little bit more damage done before the 2 Phoenix pop out and hunt down my Mutalisks and remove them from the game. Yeah, so he made 3 Phoenix total before everything fell apart. I now have Ravager Ling ready to defend myself here. Couple roaches as well. I don't want him to get in too strong of a position, like into this area where he has the speed advantage, or over here. So I try to push him back. I see of course where his army is going, but it's very scary to attack because he also has the disruptor balls which move incredibly fast. And once again, boom, a couple disruptor shots hit me right there. This is a very scary part of the game for me. I don't mind these force fields too much because his zealots also can't reach me right now, and I'm producing as many roaches as I can to somehow be able to push this back. A very scary position for me right here. The disruptor is just a little bit too far away for me to really get in contact and deal damage to him. Trying to land piles wherever I can to do damage, and it's not looking too hot right here as he keeps pushing me harder and harder. Another disruptor hit. That was like 2 or 3 kills, I'm not quite sure. But everything hurts a lot here. These pushes are very hard for me to hold. I personally struggle a lot, but that's just, maybe I'm just not that good at defending them. And here we have more zealots coming in, and I was about to tap out of this game here as I'm just getting killed by a never-ending onslaught of the disruptor charge slot attacks. But then he cancels his warp in, which allows me to push onto him. I get a good snipe on the one disruptor. He loads up the Archon, and I use the momentum to try and push in. Sadly, I don't have vision up here because the creep tumors give vision, not the creep itself. I didn't know if I can push up that ramp. I was a little bit scared of me running up into a disruptor shot. I didn't have an overseer with my army, so a little bit unfortunate right there. Now the next obvious move is usually the warp prism flying into my main, so I'm already positioning my units to try and stop that. Also have to keep units at the front. I'm lacking vision in this area right here, so I'm not sure if my opponent is attacking me. However, my opponent did retreat home, so my worries are for naught. Don't have to be too scared about anything like that happening. And I'm getting the Lurker then with the Lurker upgrades. I'm getting a Greater Spire for potential Broodlords. Here a cute little move, let's rewatch that. Gotta watch some of my highlights as well. Boom, War Prism piled out of the sky. Very good. Allowing me to expand over here without too much worries. Now I have my Corruptors starting to be built. My opponent is also going for the Fleet Beacon. My Corruptors were initially meant to be Broodlords, but I might have to build some Corruptors to deal with carriers after all. Opponent is playing very defensive, but I'm still scared to attack into him here. Disruptors are very scary if you're off creep. On creep you can kind of run away, but off creep it's incredibly scary. So a little bit of a storm, just trying to get a little bit of damage done here and there wherever I can. Some defensive units over here to deal with any charge slot run-bys. This area is not that well defended, but I have units over here, so I'm not scared of an attack. Storms, the Phoenix of course giving him vision, allowing me to go in there and snipe another Templar. If we check units lost right now, very even. I lost a little bit more than my opponent, but it's only a minor thing. I scout the carrier transition. I run in here and I see, oh shit, there's already carriers out, making me a not so happy person. I don't actually have a whole lot of anti-air. My anti-air is 7 Corruptors versus 5 carriers. And then, well, that's not really what you want to have. But I'm morphing a lot of Broodlords, so I'm just banking on winning the ground fight super heavily and then making an air switch or something. Like, I need a lot of Spore Crawlers to deal with this army. I didn't know how many carriers he has. But then right here, I think this is the first time I really noticed the carriers. I know I should have seen them before, but I think I just ran away and didn't really pay too much attention. Because right here I see his carrier count, and I remember being incredibly scared, holding down the Corruptor button. I think I'm also gonna try to move a couple of Spores over here. Yeah, here we go. Spore Crawlers very effective here against the not so strongly upgraded Skytoss units. Trying to throw Broodlings at him as well with my Broodlords. Moving his units on top of the Spore Crawlers to try and deal with them, and I'm somehow able to slow down his push a bit. But this is a very uncomfortable position, because not only is the Protoss putting a lot of pressure on me, I also feel like I can't really put any counter pressure on him right now. Like this space is, I mean, if I have enough links, like if I send like 40 links, I could definitely make a dent there, but not too happy with this. Oh, that's a very good snipe on the Disruptor. If I lost that Disruptor, the game would have probably just ended right here. Storms on top of the Queens, while the Interceptors are also attacking the Queens. Not the best decision once again here. A lot of his Interceptors are dying to his own Storms. The Broodlings are making work, cleaning up all of his Templar, and I'm somehow able to win this fight. I thought I'm gonna lose the game right there. But the Broodlings did such a good job at keeping me in the game. And these Spore Crawlers here did a really good job at helping my unit survive against his carriers. He does have the +2 air attack upgrade. He's not getting the +3 right now. I also have the +2 air attack. I'm not sure how much of a difference that actually makes for the board though. I didn't really look into the numbers. I saw the charge shots move out. There you go. Unit's already in position. He walks straight into the lurker spines, immediately gets wrecked. Over here I actually don't have enough ground units to deal with this, as most of my anti-ground is in Broodlords right now that I have over here. So it took me a little while to clean this up, but eventually I'm of course able to, making a couple of links for defense. Well, lacking on the upgrades, I'm very scared here. Like if you check my minerals, like of course I'm max, but my mineral count is very low, so I'm not really in a very good position, and it's hard for me to judge if my Protoss opponent has a bank. Like Protoss economy is always a little bit of a mystery to me. Trying to go for a Ling run by, maybe he's taking this expansion. I see no. That makes me a little bit happy. Trying to get a little bit of damage done here. Sadly, not able to do too much. Over here, another run by. This time I have a lurker in position that helps me shut everything down. I was able to kill a gateway there, but also lost a lot of links. Buying a little bit of time, you can now see that I'm starting to build up a bank. These Spore Crawlers and Broodlords here in a very defensive position. Of course, the other bases are not nearly as well defended. I'm now trying to set up a defense in this camp over here. And this is not a happy place for me. Like, I don't feel too well when I go up against this many Protoss units, but I gotta fight, dude. Yeah. So here's a very big fight. So what we're going to see here is the fungal bile. Not fungal bile, fungal para bomb, right? I fungaled his entire army and then I landed a parasitic bomb on it. Once again, going in. I should move the Broodlords. They move in, I think, and then moved everything else back. But you can see like another para bomb was on that one, another parasitic bomb here. And this hurts him a lot. Like these parasitic bombs really did a good job on him. If you check the units lost during this fight, I'm not sure how good it actually looks. So I start down 5k in resources lost. So the last couple fights were not that great for me. Now here we go. The parabomb lands on top of the Void Ray. Storms, parabomb. And I barely trade out, kind of even-ish it right there. Even though but I also didn't micro that too well. Like I could have done that a lot better. Here, once again, a little bit of a scary moment. I'm rebuilding 17 Corruptus right now. My Broodlords are still alive, so I'm able to clean up most of his ground units. But I can only really stay alive thanks to the Spore Crawlers that are helping me a lot right here. He's making it's getting another warp in ready right here. Runs into the Spine Crawlers. I'm not sure what exactly it's gonna do here. And then here he pulls everything. I use some fungals. Hide away my infestors as well. Now he makes a push onto this space. I have to give this space up. Sadly, no way for me to really keep it alive. Go and burrow the drones. And he makes a recall. And this right here is the big fight that is going to change the tide of this game. So I'm able to go in. Oh, unburrow. Come on. Fungal, parabomb. Now here we go. I parasitic bombed his carriers. My Corruptors move on top of the carriers and all his interceptors die. and the Void Rays take the full damage of the Parasitic Bomb. There you saw it. Parasitic Bomb was active for a very long time, so I had his entire army, including the ground, bungled and Parasitic Bombed. Let's rewatch this, right? Very important. So I go on top of his army with the Parasitic Bomb right here. You see the greenish cloud. Everything was fungled, so it couldn't move. And I'm able to take a very good fight. He has no shield batteries at this base because I was already sieging it. So if he recalled to this base, it would have been a lot better for him, I think. But he just recalled straight on top of my units. He doesn't have enough Stalkers that he can warp in to really clean up my ground units either. So I'm able to push him back and eliminate this space from the game. But game is not over yet. Right, I'm still pushing here. Still dealing with the Void Rays. I was trying to camp his air units, but I think he warped in Stalkers in the main, so I had to run away with my Corruptors. Slowly sieging away at this space. I want this space gone so I can put him back down on 4 bases. At the same time, of course, some run-bys are happening over here, but my Ling reinforcements clean those up. Let's not pay too much attention to that. Checking what is he building out of the Stargates. Void Ray, Void Ray, Void Ray. Leaving my Broodlords a little bit undefended. Slight mistake by me, going for the P on the main base instead. But I'm able to kill a couple of his Void Rays. He can't quite push into my Broodlords here because of the Lurkers, which killed a lot of his ground units very fast. Dodge the storms decently with my links, so I can clean the Archons and ground units up. And we're pushing in, right? I'm up 40 supply right now. But I'm sadly also going to lose most of my Broodlords here. However, I realize that I don't have any money. Like, I have 1 base mining. This base is like half mined out. This is pretty much mined out. This is mined out. This is not taken. So I have like half a base, 1.5 bases mining. So I need to somehow win this game. And this guy has Void Rays. I was praying that he doesn't really have a bank, right? I see his Zealots here. My Ultralisks are going in. Ultralisks incredibly strong against Zealots. It makes a recall happen, allowing my base over here to stay alive. I'm not sure if he could have killed it because I have a lot of Spore Crawlers here. Let's speed it up again. I don't think he could have killed this space. And I ran into the Spore and immediately recalled. Ultralisks glitching out a bit. They're yeah, they have their mouths wide open. Okay. Now, very important, I want to take this space, and I also don't want him to retake this here. So I kill this assimilator so he doesn't see that I take this space. He can of course guess, and I put a burrow a link there so he can't expand there, so I don't have to constantly pay attention to it. I see that his army is over here. Cancel this space. Not really worth it to throw away everything. Now I'm making a transition to a very Ultralisk heavy comp. And the weakness of the Ultralisk is the Immortal. So if he has a very strong Immortal count, my Ultralisks are going to be kind of weak. But he only has 1 Immortal, so he doesn't have enough, actually 2 Immortals, but he still doesn't have enough big damage here to deal with my Ultralisk. So I'm transfusing my Ultralisk, pummeled his entire army twice. I'm able to punch him back and get into a game-winning position right here. I don't have enough to push into this. Like, this is 3 shield batteries with 5 cannons. I don't really want to push into that. I don't want him to take this space, and I want to take this space. And then I will be up a base. And I think long term I should win the game. That was kind of my game plan here. But it's still a very scary position. Like, I know I'm up 60 supply right now, but it's always hard to judge games like this. I did feel very good though after cleaning up his army there. Like, after I cleaned up the army over here, I felt like I was in a very good position. Also, I have a little bit of a bank. I don't like to spend all my money. I was in the late game, I like to have a little bit of a bank so I can react depending on what my opponent is going for. This case is going for the Immortal Templar. I know he hasn't retaken this space, I know he can't take this space. I also know I can't really attack this space over here. I scout, I see, nah, Even more cannons there right now. That's very well defended. He wants to expand over here. There are like fewer minerals here than the Nexus costs almost, but he wants that expansion. I see that he expands, so I'm getting ready for a fight. I bring the Brood Lords back. I sold a couple Corruptors alive. I saw he has no more air units. I go in for the fight, blinding Cloud on his Immortals, funneling everything and winning the game. Yeah. PvP at the moment. Very hard to play. Very hard to play. Very scary. There's so many times where I just feel like the game can like end within seconds. Like if I just slightly miss position, if I don't have those 3 Spore Crawlers, game is over. He attacks me somewhere where I'm not fully prepared, game over. It's very, very hard for me to play. But won the game. Could have handled my upgrades better, could have handled my unit positioning better, could have scouted the carriers earlier. But we saw everything. This Protoss built every unit except the Dark Templar. So I really hope you enjoyed today's video, where I analyzed how I deal with Protoss players if things kind of go well. Hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you all for watching.